Welcome to the group project for the Diversity Management class, Theoretical Background and Foundation. This was made by the group of Hannah, Jackie, Marissa, and Dallas. What is a minority? Minority refers to a small part of the population characterized by differences in factors. Such factors can include race, white, black, Mexican, ethnicity, religion, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, gender, male, female, so on. Sexual orientation, anybody that falls under the LGBTQ plus community. Age, being a younger person, an older person. Disability, that being anything from mental health to being in a wheelchair. Language, being only able to speak one language, to speak two languages, or to even speak the language that is not as dominant in where you're currently at. Or social economic status, that being, well, of course, money. Being a minority often entails facing various forms of discrimination, prejudice, and barriers to equal opportunities. The recognition and protection of minority rights are essential for fostering inclusive and equitable societies, promoting diversity, and upholding principles of social justice. United States population by race and Hispanic origins, 2019. Thanks to the University of New Hampshire, if you look over to the right, we'll have a pie chart indicating what the Census Bureau conducted in 2019. This pie chart estimates that the population was 60.1% non-Hispanic white, meaning more than half the people combined. The majority is white. 18.5% are Hispanic, that being any kind of Hispanic. 12.5% non-Hispanic blacks. 5.8% non-Hispanic Asians. 2.2% non-Hispanic of two or more races, that being somebody that's mixed. They might be half black, half white. And then lastly, at the very bottom, is 0.9, not even 1% of people being Native Americans. Categorization. Categorization is the process of grouping similar things based on shared characteristics, which simplifies how we understand the world. It can also lead to very bad stereotypes when applied to people. Stereotypes can be limiting and unfair, often overshadowing an individual's unique qualities and experiences. There are a vast majority of different stereotypes for all the different races. A lot of those types of stereotypes were at the fullest back in the day with the cartoons or the types of animation that was being made. Look at very old Looney Tune cartoons, and you can see the abundance of stereotypes for every different race. Therefore, while categorization is a useful mental tool, it instills to be aware of its potential pitfall, and strive for more nuanced and empathetic understanding of individuals beyond the categories of which they belong. Even though they are in a category. They are more than that category. They are a them. They are a person. Identity is an individual's sense of self, encompassing culture, gender, and personal traits. Acknowledging and respecting diverse identities is crucial for performing to promoting inclusivity and combating biases. It not only fosters inclusivity, but it also strives as a powerful tool in dismantling biases and prejudice that often results from oversimplification or misguided perceptions of identity. By celebrating the uniqueness of each individual and their myriad identities, we pave the way for a more equitable ground in respecting for the multifaceted nature of human experience. Watching this on YouTube, if you scroll down, you can see a comment section. Feel free to comment anything you like, but if you really want to comment, and if you feel comfortable enough discussing what we are discussing here today, please feel free to tell us a little more about yourself. Tell us your social identity, from your ethnicity to your social economic status, gender, your sex, your sexual orientation, national origin, what's your first language, if you have any kind of disability, what's your age, if you are religious in any kind of being, and what's your race. Feel free to comment anything that you like as we discuss this topic going forward. Privilege, normalizing and preserving inequality. The definition of privilege. Privilege refers to having a greater access to rewards, valued resources, and unearned advantages because of one membership in a particular social group. This concept, popularized by Dr. Peggy McIntosh, highlights that certain groups experience inherited advantages that others do not share. Examples of privilege. Privilege can manifest in various different ways, such as Christian privilege, where the dominant religious groups enjoy benefits like holidays and cultural norms, the example being Christmas. Similar, able-bodied privilege, the world just being easier to people that are able-bodied, not having wheelchair ramps where they're supposed to be, not having enough bathroom space, and so on. Straight privilege. Straight privilege, as the name implies, having more privilege to the people that are straight and not a part of the vast growing LGBTQ community. And other forms of privilege exist, contributing to advantages to specific groups, while often going unannounced by those who possess them. Normalizing and preserving equality. 2. The culture of privilege. Ferber's concept of culture of privilege emphasizes that privilege operates by normalizing and perpetuating inequality. This culture can lead privileged individuals to be unaware of their advantages, and may even cause resistance or denial when confronted with the existence of the privilege. The role of allies. Allies play a crucial role in dismantling privilege and working towards a more equitable society. Allies are individuals, both from dominant and non-dominant groups, who actively support and advocate for oppressed groups. They work to challenge systems of privilege and promote diversity and inclusion in the various contexts. Even if they are a part of the non-prejudiced group, they will try to work together with the ones that are being prejudiced to find a more equal ground and to be more caring and respecting of each other. Here is a lot of different examples of the typical normal privilege that you will see on a day-to-day basis. Native English speaker, a person who natively speaks English. Cis, thin, no speech imminent. Christian, that's a common one. Male, white, those two are typically lumped together. Attractive people, heterosexual, being straight, able-bodied, like we talked about earlier. Standard accent, just have a normal accent, or if they have like a country accent, that kind of deal. No criminal record. A lot of times, if you have a criminal record or if you've been to jail, you'll kind of get all that prejudice towards you. If you're tall, typically people think tall is 10 times better than being short. Mentally healthy. A lot of people these days are unfortunately not in this privilege. They support mainstream political party. I'm not going to get into that. Adult, being an adult, they can have more advantages than being a child, being a young adult. Born in the country of residence. Wealthy, intelligent, employed, first world, a well-connected family. That one's harder to come by. Most families nowadays are typically not fully connected. Not a redhead. That's a very specific privilege that some people believe that being a redhead is a very bad thing. And being educated. Racism. Adverse racism refers to a form of racial prejudice that exists in individuals who genuinely believe they are not racist, but still hold negative stereotypes and attitudes towards people of different racial or ethnic backgrounds. One of the distinguishing features of adverse racism is the disconnection between conscious beliefs and unconscious biases. Individuals exhibiting adverse racism genuinely believe in principles of equality and fairness and may even advocate for these said values. However, their behavior and attitudes can reflect deeply integrated stereotypes and prejudice that stem from sociological influences, their upbringings, or exposed to biases media portrays, like all the different animation and cartoons back in the day. Schism is commonly used in the context of religious, political, or ideological disagreements, but it can also apply to other types of divisions. In addition, it is versatile. It can have a wide array of divisions beyond religious or spiritual disagreement. In the political area, for instance, a schism can occur when a political party experiences a deep divide over key policies or leadership, resulting in factionalism. Kind of going on right now. It can emerge in any context where people hold differing worldviews or convictions. Ambivalent and nonviolent sexism. Ambivalent sexism is a concept that explores the dual nature of sexist attitudes and beliefs. It suggests that sexism is not always expressed in a straightforward negative way. However, on the other hand, benevolent sexism represents a more subtle, often socially accepted, and seemingly positive form of sexism. It involves attitudes and behaviors that appear caring or protective, but are rooted in traditional gender roles and stereotypes. For example, over idealizing women as nurturing or in need of protection can be a manifestation of benevolent sexism. Discrimination systems. Interrelated domains. Discrimination systems encompass various interconnected domains, including residential location, schooling, employment, health, housing, credit, and justice. These domains are not isolated, but are indirected and mutually reinforcing, which perpetuates disparities among different groups. Mutual reinforcing disparities. Discrimination is one of the sources of disparities within these systems. These disparities systematically favor or disfavor certain groups and are reinforced across different domains. Impact on diversity areas. Discrimination systems are not limited to race and gender, but also apply to other diversity areas such as sex, sexual orientation, and disability, just to name a few. These systems favor certain groups while disadvantaging others, resulting in mutual reinforcing discrimination. Shocks to these systems, like policy changes, can influence opportunities and outcomes for the affected group. Diversity in non-dominant groups in different contexts. Contextual relevance of diversity. The concepts discussed in the research on diversity have widespread relevance beyond American setting. Understanding diversity in different countries depends on various factors, including national context, culture, political structures, social economic conditions, and historical backgrounds. Markers of non-dominance. Identifiability plays a crucial role in determining non-dominated groups. This identifiability can stem from physical characteristics, religion, names, or other factors. In many parts of the world, females are considered non-dominant irrespective of their population probation. Assisting disparities in areas such as employment, education, incarceration rates, and health can help identify non-dominated groups. Consistency of minority status. Key markers of minority or non-dominance tend to remain constant across different cultures. Examining groups protected by anti-discrimination legislation can be informative, as the need of such legislation suggests ongoing discrimination practices. Additionally, examining topics that are prohibited from discussing or tracking, like race in certain countries, can indicate areas with disparities that need attention despite being less visible to the public disclosure. If you have made it this far in the video, I really hope that you have took the time to pause the video and to comment down below anything that you like, what your opinions on what we're discussing here today, and anything of the sort. In addition to that, if you have made it this far in the video, please, in addition to anything that you type in the comments, comment down below the word cat, just so we know that you have made it this far and that you are actually understanding and caring about the topic that we are discussing here today. For individuals and organizations, efforts to combat stereotypes must be personal. Below are some strategies that you can use on how you can achieve this. First off, you can lead adverse racists to see the inconsistencies in their behavior. Show them how they're being rude and how they're being disrespectful. Engage group members in activities to achieve common supportive goals. Come together. Understand where each other is coming from. Understand where somebody from a different minority or a different race or a different ethnical background is coming from, and see the struggles that they have had to intake, and encourage groups to perceive themselves as members of a single group. With that being said, you have made it to the end of the video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and hopefully y'all have a takeaway of a better understanding of why it's important to be diverse and inclusive. Special thanks goes out to our professor. The references here include, of course, our textbook, and then this is the article that I read for the pie chart of the 2019 census. Last but not least, if you want to take part in a quiz to see if you actually have a better understanding of diversity, feel free to go to this link here and press play. You can play with multiple people, or you can just play the Kahoot by yourself. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed the Kahoot. Thank you.